again to another one of our World Cup design playthroughs, and with this one we're going to play Galloway Port Authority by Talented Mr. Ipley. Now he says white tees, whites and greens have been slightly manipulated, but white's the primary set, so we'll go with those. Designed for slower green speeds, defaults 132, slows 117, moderate 134. Anything past moderate can get a bit dicey. We'll go defaults as we have been with everything. It's a small plot tucked into an intimate setting, tight routing, goals to move as little land as possible. We like those things. Inspired by Waterville, the Old Course, Macrahanish Dunes. The Old Course and Mac Dunes, I wouldn't say go together. Although I guess, because Mac Dunes, they did move quite a bit of land. I've played that a couple of times. And it's very bold, whereas the Old Course is very flat. So interesting. Unless you meant normal Macrahanish, in which case I could kind of see it, I guess, a bit more. Anywho, let me kick this off. I know of Yipley in his course. I can't remember what his name is, his actual name. I don't think I judged. Was his CC one? It was like an autumn one with some fences across a ridge. I feel like.
Just hit back and go shots.
This is a fair critique text. Thank you. I will try to. Okay. So as ever, let's have a little look at the plot. Definitely got the port aspect, and he's found a use for the giant industrial sheds that we are given. The port itself looks cool. And then we've got the course tucked up against it. Oh my, okay. Really has... Okay, this is one of those where we don't want to look too far out. We're going to assume that there would be normally mainland out here. Fine. It's all fine. That's a limitation of the designer. We've got some interesting ragged style bunkers, grass planting, which we like, lots of fairway, low lighting, undulations and stuff. Yeah. Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking for, I think I see a road hole. Yeah. Okay. Been quite, like, it's been cool doing these playthroughs because I've got absolutely no idea what anyone has been working on, which has been fun. Okay. Well, we know what we're going to get. It's a links course. Yeah, definitely the narrow plot, and like, let's go find our way around. Okay, so OB, understandably, all the way down the right-hand side, makes sense. Pin, well, a little bit of a bowl. I really like your grass planting looks great. You've mixed these in really nicely. It looks great, yeah, agreed. Grass planting, bushes we've got, nice little bits of gorse. Yeah, this works wonderfully. Probably a good decision not to go with pots. I think you can sculpt this bunker down just a little bit. Either you've missed a brush here or just need to sit it down a little more. Or it might just be because of the lighting you didn't really see it. In is definitely illegal. Just, yeah, there will be judges who pick up on that. I will wait and see how I play it, but nice. Oh, good to hear. I'm looking forward to this then. As is, we've got a 9-iron. It's going to slow it up. It's a bit of a bowl, but yeah, we want to keep it away from... Keep your actual pins away from really tough slopes. And I'm not below the hole, I'm left of it, so it's going to be an absolute nightmare. Yeah, I think we can... If you look at how the sloping is working as well, it's actually a little bit slower here than it is there. That to me says you want to make your backstop a little bit bigger and then just transition into this a bit more. Because this is just going to dive right. And the green speeds mitigate that a little bit, but yeah, that's unschedulable really at defaults. Yeah. Somehow missed that. Okay, hole 2. I like the mounding. You've gone pretty bold with it. This green's much flatter. Fun kicker slope. So I can take it down the out of bounds line, but... Oh, excuse me. I don't want to be central for this one, really, which makes that bunker annoyingly placed. Well, yeah, somewhere down this side I think is fine. As long as it's not too far and threatening out of bounds, we're fine. Because I don't, although this mound's making me blind, I don't mind playing over it. None of this is really critiques, it's more just me thinking through how I'm playing it, which is a sign of a good hole. It's not. You've given me enough space to think about where I might want to play it. I think for a pin tucked tighter to that mound, I might have played it a little bit differently. This might have been one where I'd have gone for a slightly smaller green or bolder sloping within it, but that back pin would be interesting. This one gives you a bit more of a bowl to go into. Just possibly neuters the tee shot a little bit, but the green is as big as it is. Okay, so if we're playing all the way over there, you want me to play out here, which is a nice thought, but you've given me fairway all the way over here that's going to yield me a much shorter approach, and I'm always taking that. So I'm sorry, but that is how people will play this, and this is the sort of thing you've got to be really mindful of with links courses, because there are no trees and you can't block this stuff. And yep, it's the wrong way, but that is how I promise you everyone will play this hole, because it makes it reachable. And I can then ride this slope, and yeah, I think that was probably the correct way to play the hole. Easy. Which is a shame, because there's some lovely approach work done here. But I'd be interested to know that piece of fairway that I did hit onto. How vital is that to whichever other hole is using this bit of fairway? And could you have bunkered this a bit more, or just make it so it's not an automatic? I'm not saying don't put any fairway there, but if you're ever going for a tight dog leg around another hole on a links course, you've got to be thinking about this stuff. Traditionally, links don't have all that many dog legs, which is partly how this works. Also, they kind of went out and back. Is there another? Oh yeah, there's another hole up there, so it probably is kind of integral. Okay. Love this little pot and the way you've sculpted that into the hillside so that it's kind of running with it. Works really nicely. Cool green site. The bunkers have gotten a bit more dramatic. I would have liked to... Thanks, Rory. I would have quite liked to see you bring in some of the planting around here as well, maybe. Like, rather than have it all on the high side of the bunker, like, can we do a little bit elsewhere? Will help the bunkers feel a bit more natural. There we are. Different bunker, but we got the angle at least. This green's great. Like, really interesting with the sculpting. Short and yeah, love this. Not sure I have the club for it. 197. Don't know if that hits the lip. Oh, it does get over. Oh, now there is a shot. That one might have to be the picture for the YouTube video. I always try and pick a hole that I liked rather than necessarily the most photogenic one. Yeah, okay, so this is the area we hit into. See, looking at it from this way, you definitely could have just lost this bit of fairway because it's a par 4, it's not that long. I think just have some bunkers up this side and make this grass. And that solves your problem with that par 5. But I'm willing to bet you just didn't see it. It's the sort of thing that had you seen it, you'd have blocked it, but I'm not the sort of person who will go looking for all of those shortcuts. the whole time. Love this green. I mean, this, I would probably want a bit more fairway apron before you get to the green, is the only critique I'd make. Actually, given the kind of bowl-like aspect of this green, just take your green a few yards away and just make it there. I don't think you need the green boomeranging. I would just have a back section and just have it on a more standard shape, which you tend to get with linked screens. You don't really get the randomness. But I love the green side. I would also probably soften the mounding so that everyone, the main reason being, when it looks that good, I want everyone to be looking at that. Therefore, I will facilitate a way of doing that on the tee shot so that everybody gets this look, because that's the sort of thing that people will look at and go, yep, I'm about to play this again. Yeah, maybe this one's the profile picture. Good to have 2 in 2 holes. Sign of a good course. Go on, hit the right side. Ah, shame. It's always asking for a little bit. And the dune planting looks so good when the lighting hits it in the right way. Really enjoying this. Okay. Blind tee shot, loads of fairway to play with. Again, a cool green nestled in the dunes. So this one's going front to back, which isn't, I guess, a slightly curious decision because it doesn't make me want to take on the bunkers at all. Although, yeah, I guess. And if I were going this way, you defended against that by these bunkers, so that works nicely. Not that I am, but you did see this one. I think this just makes me want to hit somewhere over here, which is fine. So it's an option. I feel like the green sloping on this one could be different. And like there's minimalism and not moving things, and then there's sometimes you just go, actually, minimalism, as I've come to understand it, is when you do move land, there is a good reason for it, not you don't move land. I think that's a really important distinction. Like they won't be afraid to make some really big moves, but they'll just be guided big time by what the land does itself. And I think the answer is if it was going this way, they probably wouldn't have built the hole the way it was, or they'd have remodeled the green. Great green sloping if you're approaching it from this way. Not great if it's this way, I think. I mean, having an absolute blast so far. It's a really good course. I've said it on every alternate playthrough I've done so far. They've been really impressive. It's been great. Now, I feel like this mound, I like it in concept. You just need to work with it a little bit more so it's less like a one brush click raise, which I'm sure it probably wasn't, but something like that I'd want to be flattening out some of the slopes or making it a bit of a spine or something rather than it's just one mound. I think we can do a little more with it. Not the slow. We never get slow. The green site's fine. The hole. This is it's certainly a weaker hole, I would say. It's not really doing as much as the others have done so far, and I think you probably could have gone a bit more wild with the bunkering, given some of the big dune bunkering you've just done on 6. You could probably bring a little bit more of that in for the visual drama. Okay, so this one's consistent slope going that way. So the further this way we go, the more we're hitting kind of across that. Makes us want to hug the inside a little more. Interesting fireworks going off, thanks game. I mean, I reckon people could potentially drive to there, but I can't. I don't actually mind that miss though. I know it's not the way to play the hole, but I feel like I just want to end up somewhere down here, right? And I think I can do that from here. Because it's all going to slope that way anyway. Ideally want it to be a little bit further. Tough pin. I know I pointed out the illegal one earlier. I think this one's a tougher pin than that one. Just because it's a consistent light green slope and there's no really easy way to get below the pin. Maybe there is if I laid for a full wedge. I think that one worked nicely. Great green site. Love that it's tucked in. Like when you've done the greens banked in around your planting, I think they've looked really good. And that bunker is placed at a really annoying spot, as is the other one cutting it, because I really want to generate that angle and I just don't think I can. But we can play somewhere out here and hopefully have a decent length wedge in. Not quite. That's okay. Sit. So close. Still, that'll do. Really fun front nine. Okay, this, yeah, you've definitely. I'm not. I will be honest. I am not seeing macro students in this at all, but that is okay. Exactly. Yeah, it's a good bit of visual variety and like setting compared to the dunes ones we've got. I think these bunkers could probably use a little bit more sculpting work. Just you can see how they're rising above the fairway. You want to drop that down a little bit more. I like the choice of a big big tier in this one. We haven't had that before, and that's a nice change. And the green silhouette, the flag against the sky. Almost wish you could raise this green just a touch more so we see purely the flag. But still a great look. Nice. This is going well. The holes have been really creative as well. And okay, so we've got the big hogsback spine which can divert us one way or the other. Now, why would I want to go left? Because I think left brings this more into play, playing right, slightly longer shot, but I guess it's just for length. I don't really mind which side I am, so we'll just hit and see what happens. There's a T. It's a nice flat area, at least. Yeah, so here I think I generate a bit more of an angle, and I don't mind the longer shocks. Just don't have to deal with this. At least not as much. We might still end up down there, but it just means I can play away from trouble a little bit more, which is nice. But I could have chosen to use the other side of the hogsback and try to get a little bit closer. I don't know which tour. I'm assuming this one's going to go on a tour. I don't know which it would fit best. I feel like it's a perfect kinetic fit. Okay, long path. Have we only had one par 3 so far? I feel like I have. Yeah, just quirky. And then 3 par 3s in the last 6 holes. Or 7 holes, sorry. So this is the long wood shot into a big punch bowl. I would like some bunkers somewhere around there, if nothing else than just so that it doesn't look like you're hitting into a field. I by all means make the undulations the main feature, but like a little pot somewhere here or a bunker string coming out of here just for visuals, I think would lift this one. Somehow going to miss all of that fairway. That's pretty impressive. Come back. That's a shame because that looked like a really fun shot. It's going to be really fun watching some of these alternates go into groups because I don't know exactly where they're going to end up. Okay, front shelf runs away. That back runoff, I think, is a really interesting feature. I'm not sure how much it. I'd love that if you're playing at this green this way. Just think it's a little less effective if you're going here. R5, bunks on the inside. Yeah, this sort of thing I'd have liked you to have done on the previous hole. Sculpting on the final one probably needs a little work. And again, that's because you're trying to show it off, I think. Say again, I haven't mentioned that yet. When you've got these sorts of little clusters, the furthest one is always the trickiest. So it might just be a case if you needed to drop these ones after the fact to make that last one really work. I can hit pretty much at that one. That one's just in play for the downhill tee shot. Downwind tee shot, sorry. Okay. I think 5 wood is the play. But don't mind being short. Just don't want to be long. Which is a nice, like, I think this par 5's really nicely thought out. The other one obviously had the cut the corner issue, but I think that one, everything makes sense. I'm kind of just getting wrapped up in this course and not commenting maybe as much as I do on others, but lots of it is just really good. Line tee shot and dune work really well. I think you can probably be lowering the land in front of this green complex a bit to show it off a little bit more, but we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, yeah, we can definitely. So as you can see, like there's a lot more to this bunker complex than we can necessarily see. Lowering that would be helpful. I might have been tempted just to chuck your green even further out here and just really bench it into the dune work. Uh, right between clubs. Just assume we're going to get fast and bring it back. Nice. Come on, club. Didn't do as much as we needed to. Another really solid hole. Great choice of par 3 location. This is exactly where you should be putting a par 3. I feel like you want to raising the green up 3 feet or so would make the world of difference with this. I want to see the flag. Flag against the ocean would be perfect. And you can see how low it's getting back here to the sand, that is. Raising it up a little bit. It's partly because you've got the elevated tee, so we're looking down. So because we're 19 feet up, we're looking down at that, which is, if you imagine your view and like draw a line from your eyes down to the water and where the flag is, kind of taking our eye line down through the flag and into the green itself, raising it up a little bit or lowering the tee, suddenly you get that flag silhouetted against the coast, and I think that's the look you're. It's so close. It's 95% of the way there. That's your last 5%, I think, because otherwise this looks awesome. And the green itself is great. Like, really nice little shelves, funky shape, but it works. Those two bunkers look so good. Yeah, really good par 3. And that's got all the setting that first par 3 on 7 didn't quite have. I think so far 12 and 7 and 14 have been better. Oh yeah, road hole tee shot. But it doesn't kind of like. Is it a little contrived? Yeah, but it works so much better than most of the hit over a building road hole tee shots I see. I like also that you've given us the sloping to help it work around there as well. A load of space out this way if I wanted to go this way. But you know what? I'm interested to see how long it plays from over here. I wonder whether that's viable as a route. That bunker's exceedingly well placed. Yeah, I think you've nailed the distance on this. This is just seriously well done. And like you can play out here, but you're leading to a slightly dicey pin. I think I'd probably move your pin just a touch away from your light yellow slopes. Occasionally, your pins are just a bit too close to the parallel slopes that you're putting on there. Oh, although 80%, I do not want to end up above this at all. No, we're playing down here. We're playing sensible. Oh no. No, 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 no. Okay. Well, that was not the time to get rubbish tempo. It's only light rough though. How friendly. Okay, as long as we're below the hole, that's fine. I change literally no chance of seeing where my swing is. All things considered, that was better than I thought it was going to come out. There we go. We'll take that. 17. I like that this is kind of a tabletop. I think you could have done more with this bunker. Like if you look at some of your more dramatic bunkers, this one just kind of exists. Same with this one. The little pot I don't mind. Like pots are just kind of standard shapes anyway. But I think this one we could mount up a little bit more, bring the planting in, and that would really make this whole thing visually. But I like the way you've cut the planting in front. I feel like I haven't commented all that much on this course, but it's been really good. Ah, failed, and we're just in the middle of the green, which is a safe enough miss. But it's fine. There we go. Right, what have you got for 18? So far, with the exception of the mistake on the third, there's not really been a miss, and that one green that flowed front to back, it's not really been a big miss for me. Love it. This is. I love the boldness. And that means we want to be playing on this side, otherwise, we're pitching over that towards sort of a backstop. I wonder, would you ever play down here and just get the shot all the way down the throat? How far is it? It's 200 yards. I'm not sure I want that. So you're trying to play as far down the left as you possibly can do, and then you just got to deal with that awesome slope on the green. God, I hope Seamount ends up on this course at some point. Could be it. Not bad. Beauty. I don't really have enough good words for that course. If I'm being so, I really enjoyed it. I thought it like you nailed your minimalist aspect of like finding golf holes that were natural and unique and interesting there. The question with the links course when it all kind of blends together is how many do I really remember? I had a lot of fun playing it. The thing you've got to do with the links is have some of those holes really stick in your memory. And it's the same with any kind of overall atmosphere course. Because I loved the 18 holes that I've played. It's when I go away, what are the ones that I really remember? I will really remember 16. I thought it was a stunning, stunning hole. I'll remember 15. 18 definitely sticks in my mind for that big green. There's a par four on the front with that little sunken green behind the dunes that worked really well. There are a number that were just kind of your more, for lack of a better word, standard holes that I think will require more plays to really remember. But I think this is going to be the sort of course that with multiple plays, you're going to be like, oh yeah, it's that hole, it's that hole, it's that hole. And they really stick with you. It is. It's awesome. It's really well thought out. The planting's great. But it's just asking lots of interesting questions and golf shots. And like you're having to play it in different ways because of the way he's laid things out. What would be my main critiques? There's not many, which has been rare if you've watched most of the playthroughs, which should say some good things about the quality of the course. I guess it would just be that, like, how many of the holes really stick with me from a playability standpoint. Obviously, 3 was a miss. And then I want to say, is it 8, that short par 4, or 9, one of them? I think it's 9. That one where the green was a bit too front to back. Yeah, but it doesn't need to be tough. The thing is, if you try and make a links course too tough and you take away those angles, then it just becomes not very much fun to play and it's a bit of a grind. I mean, go and play Old Alton on the Open this week. Like, that's as tough as I'd ever want to make a links course play. And, like, there will be people who find that horrible. And even then, I would soften the greens a lot for this game. But back to Galloway. I probably would want you to chuck in a longer par 4 somewhere. I mean, the back actually plays pretty I guess it plays a bit longer. I think you could probably vary your hole distances looking at this, but it didn't feel like it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to digging into this one more and kind of finding more bits of feedback on it. I think my main bit would be the bunkers and, like, bringing those in, making it a bit more dramatic. There are times when you do that really nicely. There are times when you could do it a little bit more. 17 was a good example. I thought 7, the par 3, was a bit of a kind of nothing par 3 as well, maybe. And I think you could have added more visual drama on 12. Those would be my other bits. But gotta be honest, this one's ending up in group stages. I can tell you that now. I think it's the best of the alternate courses I've played, and there are some good ones there. And whichever group I think this ends up in, given the number, I've got a couple of withdrawals, so I can comfortably say that it will go in. Whichever group this goes into, that's gonna worry some people, and this could be the alternate that goes through groups, which would be awesome to see. I really enjoyed it. Best of luck in the contest. I'm not going to do another playthrough now, but I might do some either this afternoon or this evening. So yeah, see you again soon.